Hello, loves, the Army of Light Earth Division, boots on the ground. It's Shawna L. Francis, and today is September 26th, 2023. Thank you, everybody, for joining me for the weekly briefing. We're having a lot of fun on this channel, talking about cool stuff, having our minds blown. Happy fall equinox. Man, fall has just landed so heavy in Portland. I swear to God, the day after the equinox. Once they decided it was fall, it started raining nonstop. So it's been kind of fun though. The floating home here has been moving and shaking, and the rain's hitting the metal roof, and the sunlight's above me, and I'm kind of enjoying it, but it will get really tiring after about a month of the rain. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing good. I'm so glad that you're here and that we get to do this fun stuff together. It's been an interesting week. So last week I told you all that my right shoulder just quit working for whatever reason. And I have been in excruciating pain for most of the week. This just started to loosen up day before yesterday. And I'm feeling such relief. And I found a chiropractor who I saw 3 times in a week and a half, who really just got me set on the right path. And I'm feeling so much better. And I talked to Max actually about this pain and what was causing it. And lo and behold, the answer that came back was that I was very nervous about starting this mushroom grow business. So Friday, I got back from Mexico on Friday, week before last, Thursday. Then Friday, I went and looked at a grow space, and it looks really good, and I'm going to go for it. Going to start the paperwork with the city and all that good stuff, all the red tape I've got to get through to get approval for the location. Well, that was Friday. And this is when my symptoms started happening, was Friday. So it was this fear around starting this business. And, to be quite honest, there's a lot of reasons that I would be afraid, that there would be some worry. One of them, as I've mentioned before, with this incredible work that I'm doing in the Halls of Amenti and with Melchizedek energetically, I'm in la land a lot of the time. I'm several hours a day. I am in this meditative state and I'm working with them. And this has been just incredible. I love it so much. I wouldn't trade it for anything. But what it does is it really takes me out of, the mode where you have focus and able to get business done and able to just be on my computer and taking care of things. So that was weighing heavily on me. Like, am I going to be able to have the mental focus to be able to not only run the business, but, knock it out of the park, because that's how I am, go big or go home. And, I want to think it all through, and I want to have a plan, and I want to know that I'm doing it the right way. And I'm not missing any details. And, this is that project manager type A Capricorn in me, just, really wanting to make sure that everything's going to be perfect. And mentally, I'm not where I used to be, like, 4 or 5 years ago, 3 years ago, even. So to be able to handle all these details. So that was one aspect. And then the other aspect is the money it's going to take to start this business up. And it's such a high risk venture. It's a brand new industry, not only for, here Oregon, but for the whole United States, going into psilocybin production and allowing, psilocybin to be used in a therapeutic setting. I'll tell you, I'm so excited about the mushrooms and about being a part of this movement and helping to raise awareness for this incredible medicine. So I will tell you what happened. So I've been listening to the Book of Innocence, Paul Selig's latest, and again, this is Melchizedek that Paul is channeling. So this book just came out last week, and I've been listening to it all week. And there have been some incredible attunements in it that just spiral me like out into the cosmos. So it's not just a book. This is a program. And these attunements and the things that they say, and they have you repeat and say out loud, begin a process within your field to allow whatever it is they're setting the intention for. And a big chapter was on memory and being able to reformulate our memories based now from this higher vantage point, this higher state of vibration. I'm not going to do it justice. It was a long chapter, but there was a really intense, intention that we set together with Melchizedek, saying we'll support you in re-knowing and re-remembering what's happened to you. All your memories that you store are basically figments of your imagination, and there's an energetic field to these memories. And there's we've experienced all these moments as part of our existence. These things become codified as memories in our system, in our field. Well, understand that those memories were codified at a lower vibration. And a lot of times our memories are the big fear-based memories. We don't hardly remember all the great things that have ever happened to us. It's always the crappy things, the really hard things, and the traumatic things. So, they're talking about, as part of this program, to be able to go in and re-know your memories, reformulate your memories, reframe your memories from the upper room, from this new higher state of vibration. I mean, this is the kind of the mind-bending stuff that they've talked about before, being able to impact our current reality, this moment at this time, by re-knowing our past, reformulating our past based on the higher vantage point. It's not like these things didn't happen. It's not like you're wishing them away or acting like, whatever happened to you didn't happen to you and your memories are valid. But it's having a broader vantage point of what actually happened. A person, me at 51 years old, I'm going to have a different perspective than me as a 10-year-old girl in whatever might be happening in my world. But yet, here I am at 51, still carrying whatever that memory was of me at 10 that was traumatic, without really taking the time to stop and really think about, well, what actually happened there? How might I have a broader perspective on whatever that was? So that was part of, a big attunement that had happened just a few days ago. And then I just woke up, I think it was Sunday morning, or maybe it was even just yesterday. And after that, and I was listening to that at night, and I had absolutely no fear. No fear for like 24 hours. It's kind of creeping up again, but I'm feeling so much better. Just my shoulders started clearing up. I started feeling more balanced and more whole in my body. I mean, even as early as Saturday morning a few days ago, I was in so much pain, I'm crying, and I'm frustrated with, not being able to use my right arm. I'm right-handed, and you can't do anything without your right hand. So this was a huge turn of events for me with this shoulder and with this fear, and realizing that I had so much less fear. I woke up feeling no fear. So I don't know if I had some dreams or some work done over the night or what, but it was palpable. I woke up and I really felt different. And the shoulder started getting better, and it's just getting better from there. And, in terms of the mushroom grow business, I've just decided that I'm going to go for it. So I can either go for it and be worried the entire way, or I can go for it and just be absolutely delighted at the prospect of what this might be, knowing there's no guarantees, but being okay with that and entering into it just with trust and faith and optimism and the excitement that's truly there for me around this medicine. So yeah, it's been a crazy week or so. And I want to thank everybody for all your comments, all your support, in terms of trying to help me understand what this is and what it was and what it might be. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I read all those, and I really appreciate all your help and your insights. Okay, so I'm going to move on here. Another little tidbit here. I've got just random stuff to share. I'm going to try, it sounds like I'm going to be back on the Jeff Mara podcast. So thank you, Bruce, one of our Army of Light members, for helping line this up. He's like, I think it's time to go back on Jeff for a follow-up and talk about Queen Elizabeth and the negative reptilians. is the audience for Jeff Mara ready to talk about Queen Elizabeth as a reptilian? I'll go for it. I'm ready. I'm ready to do it. We're gonna, we gotta raise the awareness about this, right? So that might be where we're going. We'll find, I'll see. I'll feel into it. But I guess Jeff has said yes to have me back on, and so I just need to coordinate that and get that going. And hopefully within a couple months that'll be on the books and done. Exciting. Um, some of you had asked about where are the Halls of Amenti and are they under the Sphinx? And I know, oh my gosh, Billy Carson, I don't know if I got that name right. Somebody out there who's in our space has talked about a physical location of the Halls of Amenti. So actually, I've been spending so much time in the halls, and I took the time recently to just ask a few questions of the guides, and I want to go through what they had to say. I also have a little bit to share from Melchizedek. I also told you that I was quite worried about the Galactic Federation of Light and this war that's going on. How does that impact us? How does it impact them and our movement? So Melchizedek just was saying, please don't worry. So I want to read to you what I channeled from them here recently. And otherwise, really this last week, I channeled for the book one time. I was just in a lot of pain and I wasn't sleeping at all. Last night was the first night where I actually slept through the night for the most part. So I'm getting caught up on my sleep, but I did do a nice channeling for the book, and we're starting to really get into the negative reptilian stuff. But I'm not quite prepared to get into those details with you today. And just some really interesting things happening in the halls and happening with Melchizedek. And I'll talk a little bit about that as well. Some DNA upgrades this week and DNA clearing. And I had asked, is this anything that we can measure here? And they said, no, our science is not really able to do that. But they spent some time doing DNA upgrades this week. And a lot of time, I think, just healing too, because my shoulder was so messed up and I was just so frustrated with it. All right, so let me get into the Halls of Amenti. What are the Halls of Amenti? And I had said to them, somebody has asked, are they actually located beneath the Sphinx, or is any part of it, or is there a portal there, or anything that they can talk about? So here's what, and I said, is there anything else you can tell us about the halls? And, how is it different from the Akashic records? And the guide came back and said, Shawna, such thoughtful questions. Thank you so much for asking. I said, you're welcome. Thanks for entertaining them. And they said, of course, dear one, the Halls of Amenti. Well, Shawna, we would say that there is no beginning and there is no end. There are no defined boundaries to the quote unquote space that you find yourself in. It's different from the Akashic records in that we don't keep an exact running archive of everything that could ever be recorded about an individual's life, including their blueprints, their life contracts, their life plans. So this was really nice because we got a nice overview of, how this guide is defining the Akashic records, or Akashic records, however you want to say that. So again, they've just confirmed here that this is an archive of everything that could ever be recorded about an individual's life, including their blueprints, life contracts, life plans. So the Akashic records, so huge. So I'm not really working in the Akashic records. The Halls of Amenti are different. And so they're telling me they're really not under the Sphinx. There is no physical location or portal or representation here on Earth for the halls. And then they continue here. The Halls of Amenti are more broad in nature and objective. This becomes a meeting ground for the multiple aspects of any given soul, so that the aspects of that soul may know their soul essence better. You are able to get a better grasp on the multidimensionality of reality and of existence itself. Okay, so this is how I understand this, but I love how succinct they are about it. It becomes a meeting ground for all the aspects of an oversoul. So Shawna L. Francis, this is one aspect of an oversoul or a monad. This monad kind of is the source of many aspects. And I think it's all happening concurrently somehow. But I'm just one aspect of my oversoul, as are you. You're one aspect of your oversoul, okay, or of your monad. And they say here, in its most basic sense, the Halls of Amenti provide you with a mirror that you may metaphorically gaze into to learn more about who you are and more about the vastness of expression, and to learn more about your world at large. And when we say world, this world has no bounds. It's not about Earth or your solar system or even your galaxy. It's about the totality of existence. I mean, heavy, heavy, big stuff here. And the mirror is exactly the word that Melchizedek told me when they first asked me to get into the Halls of Amenti. And I have literally seen mirrors and reflections coming back, not recently, but I have seen the mirrors to learn more about our world at large, but the world has no bounds to it. The totality of existence. And I just started crying at this point. It was super emotional, and I just felt my heart open. And they said there are relatively few who, and then I had interrupted them with my crying, and I said I just said it's such an honor to have access to the Halls of Amenti after how they had just explained what it is. And I said, I'm so thankful to be able to speak with you frankly, as friends, as confidants, as a comrade, as family. I said, I hope I'm not overstepping by saying these things, but I just was expressing just this deep reverence and love for this guide who I've been working with for so long. Has it been a year yet? Maybe. I need to go back and look. And they said, Shawna, we'd agree with everything you just said. I said, thank you, team. Please continue. They said, our point being, Shawna, that not everyone would benefit from what the Halls of Amenti have to offer, and there are very good reasons for this. Okay, so not everybody's going to benefit from being in the Halls of Amenti. They said, many come to planet Earth for a specific type of experience, and knowledge of the self outside of human embodiment and the personality is not necessary for growth or evolution. All right, so that makes complete sense. There's going to be most people on this planet, they don't need this kind of knowledge. They don't need this kind of awareness. They don't need this in their consciousness. And they said here, there are special cases where people such as yourself can really benefit from a broader understanding of the nature of existence, whereby the totality of who and what you are includes the multifaceted, multidimensional aspects of this oversoul that you share. And also to be able to understand the rich tapestry of a soul's existence. Your life path, Shawna, they said, your mission, your soul's indoctrination. There's a level of teaching, of instruction, of an aspect such as yourself that is carried out by the monad. It is at the soul level whereby access to the Halls of Amenti is solidified and made manifest. All right, so let me see if I can kind of just paraphrase this. They're saying that I have a soul mission that is such that having the continuity and understanding the multiple lives I've had, you know, like being a reptilian many, many lifetimes and now switching to the light, understanding my past in that way and understanding my karma in that way. The Halls of Amenti is where all of this has been revealed to me. So there's an ability for me to get into the halls so that I can have a more broad understanding of how all these pieces fit together and why I find myself here as Shawna L. Francis talking about a negative reptilian influence here on the earth and emancipating that energy. You know, how do you get your brain around that? Where this is now my reality. This is what I'm doing, you know? So The monad has allowed this at the soul level for this continuity and this awareness to be made manifest through the Halls of Amenti. I said, thank you so much, team. I think that's making sense. I said, for you specifically, am I talking with a collective or a singularity? Can you tell me more about you as the guides? And they said, Shawna, I or we, these can be used interchangeably with the guidance you can find here. I would not say that I am a singularity such as yourself. It's a broader consciousness than that. But that doesn't necessarily mean that there are multiples of us. So Shawna, just imagine that we are, or I am, an expanded consciousness that spans the dimensions and is ancient. Wow, that's so cool. It reminds me of Cryon. I don't think of Cryon as they, like Melchizedek is an order. There are multiple of them that make up this order, this consciousness. So this kind of the Hall's guide reminds me of Cryon. I actually wonder if it has a name. I should ask. All right, and then they continue here. He, she, it continues. And our sole purpose, my sole purpose as this consciousness, is to assist and support those soul aspects who are granted access to the Halls of Amenti. This is an extreme honor for me, and that very special knowledge can be both shared and gained. Leaps in consciousness, dear one, alignment with the greater aspects of divinity, a walking in the Master's shoes, they said. And they continue here. Those who visit are forever changed by their experiences here, and it is a great joy of ours to see these changes unfold in real time. And the impact that its expanded consciousness, raised awareness, what that has on a soul's journey, and also the collective of which they are a part. They said, Shawna, you have met many aspects of your soul, and alas, we will have more to show you as appropriate. And as you shed this body, dear one, and leave the space of Shawna behind, we will be ready to welcome you in your next conscious incarnation. Again, I am crying at this point. I'm crying. This is hitting me so hard that this is a space. It doesn't matter what incarnation I'm in, I'm going to be allowed into the Halls of Amenti. It's been a long time, but this just sparked a memory here. I remember having a vision a couple of years ago that in my next life, I'm going to completely remember that I was Shawna L. Francis in this life. And there will still be a big footprint of mine because of this YouTube channel and everything that I'm doing. There will be a digital footprint that I'll leave behind, and I will somehow be able to pick right up where I left off in my next life, which means I'm going to come back here most likely if that vision was real, which I know most of us are like, oh, please no. Do we need to come back? Yeah. So this makes sense then, Halls of Amenti, no matter what aspect of this monad is out there, they have access to the halls. They said, you will always have access to the Halls of Amenti no matter who and what you are as an aspect of the greater soul. There will be true continuity here, Shawna. And this is just mind-boggling. And while it is a non-linear path, it does provide a rich forum for a soul to walk a journey and a path that requires such continuity. So I guess in my case, with my karma, with what I'm doing with the negative reptilian energy, the raising of consciousness, what we're doing with the ascension, all of this, is the reason why I have access to my past lives and they're not past lives, right? Everything's happening all at once somehow. Anyway, that's why I've got this kind of access. And once again, I asked, can you remind me what we're doing here energetically? And they've explained it to me already twice. I've asked a third time. And the answers are always beautiful and consistent, but here's what they had to say again. They said, this could be considered preparation for the energies that are already at the planet's front door. You are a vessel that can house higher vibrations, to bring in the higher vibrations, to integrate the higher vibrations, and then to disseminate out those vibrations on a mass scale. You are literally a beacon in this way. Yeah, I mean, when the guides 5 years ago started saying, I'm a beacon, you're a beacon, Shawna, you're a beacon. I mean, I had no idea that it was, I'm literally an energetic beacon from what they tell me. So this energy's coming in and I'm able to hold it, contain it, and disseminate it out. Okay. And we've got more information coming. And they say here, so the work that we do here in terms of the energetic frequency and this energy cycling allows the higher vibrational energies to enter the planet on a deeper scale, on a wider scale, and it also prepares you, dear one, for the next phases of information that will be shared in the halls. I just can't even imagine what's coming. What else is coming in the halls of Amenti? I said, that's beautiful, team. Thank you so much. I said, just speaking on behalf of the Army of Light Earth Division, you guys, I said, would there be any reason for anybody to try to request access to the Halls of Amenti? I said, how does that work? And they said, Shawna, the constituents in your Army of Light Earth Division all benefit from the energy work, the energy cycling that you are doing in the Halls of Amenti. This is the first group who can tap into these frequencies as part of this collective. This is the perfect place for your constituents at the moment. There may be individuals who have a pre-life agreement to work in the Halls of Amenti, and those individuals will be notified individually at the right moment. Hey, that's pretty cool to know. All right, so how amazing, how fun to channel the guides in the Halls of Amenti. And just such beautiful stuff coming through. Just, I love it. And I've just gotten feeling just very comfortable and familiar with these folks, just like family. Just amazing. Let me talk about what what Melchizedek had to say about the GFL war. I just had said, I had started off by saying, how are we doing? I've been basically under the weather with this shoulder pain and being, kind of off my game in terms of, sitting down with a set schedule. And we haven't been channeling much for the book lately. Are we doing okay? And they said, everything's going fine. They said, they're honoring my process, but also honoring their commitments. And they said, quite honestly, we are also being spread too thin at times, as you can relate. So, like I said, I got the sense they were just really busy. I said, team, with the GFL war still happening with the negative reptilians, I know this sounds selfish, but am I a little bit more exposed because of this? You had said that the negative reptilians know who I am in this incarnation. They're on to me. Okay, fine. And I understand. I've been killed by the negative reptilians after joining the light many, many times, and I've seen these lifetimes in the halls of Amenti over the past year. So I had just asked, should I be concerned about this? And they said, yes, Shawna, we did say that. And in our estimation, you are not more exposed than you were before the war. But if you're concerned about this, state your intentions out loud for more protection to be added for you and your field. And all of us who serve you, dear one, will make sure that this happens. So yeah, right away I did that. I said, thank you so much, team. I said, what about humanity in general? What about, are we more vulnerable in general as a species? And they said, yes, dear one, we understand why this would be concerning to you. We are not able to give you an answer to this right now. We're observing the happenings moment to moment, and we'll let you know if anything should be communicated to you and your constituents. But until then, Shawna, please do not worry about this war. Don't worry about these battles and the repercussions for humanity at this time. Please allow those of us who have the ability to understand the battles on a deep level and the challenges and also the solutions, please allow us to be the ones to take on the worry here. Okay. And that hit home. And again, that's just part of this fear stuff that I've been trying to deal with. I think that's really about it. I guess one interesting thing, if you've listened this long, maybe you'll find it interesting. Um, I was deep into this energy work with Melchizedek, and I would say after a good hour or so, I was finding myself melding with them in a more like physical way. And I was also seeing it very clearly that I was becoming part of Melchizedek, part of their collective. I was seeing them as like blue lights, kind of in a triangular formation. And then they were all encompassed by this big halo with this like horizontal plane. So just like I was seeing this strange kind of these visuals, and I was joining with them as this blue light. And as part of this vision, I I I kind of came out of that wearing this big cloak, like with this blue mask on, and I find myself back. Okay, team, I always bring this time up and it's the most awful thing, but that lifetime as I was that youngish, like strawberry blonde haired woman who got slaughtered by the negative reptilians on the altar in the cave. Does everybody remember that? If you're new to my channel, sorry guys, there's just some backstory here. Anyway, I as a member of Melchizedek in this robe and with this blue mask thing on, I am now back in that moment and as an angel coming to this girl. And I'm going to say she's like 18, 20 years old. And I have seen her before on the cliff's edge of an ocean. And I figured it was around the time that they had captured her and brought her down and sacrificed her. Again, when I say her, this is an aspect of me that I came to know in the Halls of Amenti. This is again where they realized who and what I am incarnate into a lifetime here. They find me and they kill me. And I just had talked about this. So this vision came up in this last week. So I visit her as an angel. And basically, I end up grabbing her and we go into the ocean together. And we do this swap, this body swap. I am now like, as me here, Shawna L. Francis, but part of Melchizedek, I am now in her body. So she stays like in the ocean. So she basically leaves her body. I am now in the body. And they grab me. And again, I'm this 20-year-old strawberry blonde haired woman, and I am being taken down the stairs, down this dark cavern into this cave to be sacrificed. And the whole way, again, I am just radiating out light. I am radiating out love. Like it is like I can feel myself lighting up this thing as I go down. And remember, I've told you too before, like there was no fear when I was going down those stairs and I knew exactly what was going to happen. So I watched the whole thing again from this other vantage point. I watched the sacrifice, the cutting off of the head, all the gory stuff. And then at the end of this is the interesting part. I so I'm dead, but my soul is still there, and I kind of, the body's, they've done what they will with the body. And here I see this man, a white man in like a military uniform, all decorated up, like the blazer and the hat, and this white guy, this white man. And as my spirit in that moment, in that space, that man is with me in this space, in this cave. And he's just standing there. And I'm like, and I said to him, I touched his heart and I said, you can do this. You can walk this path. You can. I said, I'll be with you. I said, it will be hard, but you can do it. We'll do this together. And then this man starts crying. And he was just like, just sobbing at just the awfulness of this whole thing. So I don't really have anything to add to that, but I thought it was interesting and I wanted to share it. I'm having some strange things happen like this, and I don't keep track of all of it, but that seems significant. So who knows? Maybe another soul that's wanting to switch from the dark to the light and walk this path. But I'm so deep into trance at this point and into those deeper stages of consciousness. Like I'm not making this stuff up, so I take it very, very much at face value, what comes to me in these states. So anyway, if anything else happens with this military dude, I will let you know. All right, team. This is a long one today. I didn't think I had so much to talk about. All right, so self-care, team. Make sure you are taking care of yourself. All these energies coming through, all the energies coming out from with those around us, people going through major life transitions. We are the light. We're the beacons here, the way showers. You can do this. You got this. I'm here. If you need anything, please reach out. I love you guys. All right. Thanks again for being here. Mwah.